Hello everyone, I hope you're well. Welcome to our next Thrinchie. So we've done 4 Thrinchies so far. We've done 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and I will add these to an album in my Facebook group just so that you can see them there all together. I just need a little bit of time just to get that sorted. So we're now on Thrinchie number 5. So let's just close our little book, and we've got our little Thrinchie piece. And I always sort of go to my book and make sure that I have picked up a Thrinchie, because sometimes I have some spare pieces of card on my desk, and trust me, I'm dangerous because it's not necessarily the right size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my A8 stamp, which is TE17, and it's a little A8 stamp, and it's got art on there, and free your imagination, TE17. So I'm going to use a permanent ink, VersaFine Clair Nocturne, and I'm going to ink this up. And even though it's a small stamp, you can see, as always, that I take my time and just make sure that I give that a really good inking. And then I spend ages trying to get the wipe out of the packet. The last few wipes are always a nightmare. So I'm then going to, let's just turn this to the light, and you can see then if you've sort of inked it enough. And I'm going to use the art just to add to here. It's a nice small stamp. There we go. I love that. I just love that. Just think it's wonderful. And really, I should have a piece of copy paper, but guess what? I haven't. You can blot that or dry that. I'm then going to take a stamp set TE24. So let's grab stamp set TE24, and then I'm going to take, it's up to you whether you want to take the larger light bulb, or do I want to take the little small one? Oh, there's too many choices. I think I might use that next time. I'm going to take the small light bulb, like so. And then what I'm going to do, I've got 3 Ecoline pens. So you're going to want me to read them. And I probably won't be able to see the small text, but let's have a go. So we have got 237, which is deep orange, 350, which is fuchsia, and carmine, 318. So pink, orange and red, in other words. So I'm just going to pick the lightest colour out of there, which for me is the orange. So I'm just going to add the orange just onto the light bulb, like so. And then off camera, I'm just going to spritz that. Do you like how I can't speak? I'm just going to spritz that once. And I'm just going to take a little bit of the moisture off, because obviously we spritzed it and it goes all over your acrylic block. Let's move this out of the way. And I'm then going to add the light bulb here, like so. I'm going to add more colour to that. So I'm going to take the Ecoline pens again. So I'm just using the orange. What was it? Deep orange, 237. Do you like how I can't remember? There's no hope, is there really? Just going to give literally one light spritz of water. And just allow that just to sort of grab hold of there. And then let's just clean the acrylic block Now, so that I've got more depth of colour on this, and then let's grab a little bit of water here. Hope that my brush is somewhere here. Do you know, I never looked for, I dropped my Inktense pencil and I never looked for it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my darkest colour, which is the carmine. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit of carmine just like so. So just adding a little bit of carmine, and then I'm going to add a little bit of pink. Ecoline pens are very juicy, so I'm going to pick some water up, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of the pink, the watered down pink. I'm just going to blend the colour a little bit with the pink. Turn this around just so that it moves a little bit. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the red, take a little bit of the water. I'm going to pick up the red, and I'm just going to add a little bit more of the red as well. So pick up the red, a little bit more. So it's nice and bright, and then I'll use a little bit of the pink. So let's just clean that up so we've got a clean area. And I'll just take the pink. It's like a pinky purple colour, really. So we just take the pinky purple colour. Just look how much, you can see how much pigment is in there. And then what I'm going to do is just go back around by adding a little bit of the orange just at the edge, just at the edge of the light bulb. I'm just going to use a sort of a fine, no, I'm not using that. I was going to say a pencil, just a HB pencil. And I'm just going to just add this just so that it's got some definition. Let's just wipe this up. Now I'm going to take the same light bulb again, but this time I'm going to use my black ink. I'm going to stamp that, so there's a third one right over the top, which will then push those other ones right to the back, because we've got that permanent ink on there. But I want to show you what happens. So can you see, you sort of end up with the black sort of going through the, what do you call this, the Ecoline. Can you see? So you think the black's going to push it back, but it ends up where the coloured one's still on the top. It's clever, isn't it? Right, do I want another one of those? I do like 3 normally. No, I think I like a 3. So I'm then going to just add another. There we go. And then I'm going to take my Inktense pencil. You can see this is a new one. I don't know where my other one is. I don't know whether I dropped it on the floor. Let's have a look. No, nobody knows. I'll end up moving something and then I'll find it. And here it is. Here it is. There you go. We always lose something. So I'm then going to add a little bit of shading just around each of the light bulbs. But now you've got quite a bit of pigment in your brush, so you need to make sure that that is clean, because I've used quite a bit of pigment. So I'm just going to just blend out a little bit of, just so it's got a little bit of shading, just so that you can see our light bulbs. And then I'm going to add another, actually I'm going to add more light bulbs. Do you like how I changed my mind? So I'm then going to continue with the black. So I'm going to add the black again. So the little light bulb. So I'm going to add this one here. And it's nice if you sort of put them at in different positions, like that one's coming off the page, so they're not all in the same position. And then I'm just going to clean this. Now, you know I don't normally clean my stamps, but the only reason I'm cleaning it is because now I need to go on with this orange. So I'm going to take the orange, there's your nice bit of squicking for you. I'm just going to spritz that very lightly with water. That is not lightly at all. Look at how soaking that is. You know why that is because I've used the wipe on there. Let's just put some of that back on. There we go. You only need the shape of it anyway. So I'm then going to add this just down here, like so. And you don't really need to press on with that. And you can either, like I did before, I added the pen directly onto the light bulb. So this is the red. I can then come and just add a little bit of the red. Was that the red or the orange? That looks very orange to me. Let's try the red. So pick up the red. Make sure you can see, and you can do it this way if you wish, or the way I did it in the first place where I added the red with the pen. It's entirely up to you. Let's clean that, but look how much pigment is in. We'll take that carmine, sorry, it's not carmine, it's fuchsia. Take the fuchsia, which is a little bit sort of purpley. Pick up a little bit more of the red. Let's just clean ours up. Then we can add our little pencil. I just love the fact that in such a small space, and again I'm going to end up with the pigment all in my brush, in just such a small space you can still do quite a little bit with your stamps. So let's just give it a little bit of that. And then I'm just thinking now whether I want to add and then you can faff ages, Tracy. So I've got my circular sort of template here. I don't think I do, because you've also got to try and be aware of not adding too much as well to your Thrinchie. So I'm going to take the little art stamp, which is the A8 stamp set. And on that stamp set, it says, free your imagination. There's a little sentiment. So I'm going to use that little sentiment. And we're going to stamp that in black. Your imagination. And that's exactly what we're doing with our Thrinchies. We're just enjoying what we're doing, our creative time. Now what I'm going to do is just add some touches of white. Now when you go in, let's use this just as a scrap of, you really need to let these dry, because you've obviously wet them, so you really sort of need them, to dry a little bit, and you can just add a little touches of white here, just so they're added in there. And then let's add a little bit of shading under there, just under the free your imagination. There we go. And then I'm going to add some splatters. We're not finished yet, so I'm going to add a few splatters. Try and sort of avoid your sentiment. Let's move this out of the way. And then I'm just going to grab a scrap of card. And I'm looking in the wrong drawer. Oh, do you know? Now, you can leave yours like that if you wish. And I'm just going to grab a scrap of card. Oh, that isn't a scrap of card. It's because I've got more backgrounds than anything. So I've now got a little scrap of card, and I'm just then going to take the light bulb again. I'm going to take the red, that one's quite wet actually. I might get away with that without even spritzing with water. Yes, I can get away with that. So then my scissors away. Oh, do you know, you can't make it up, can you? I'm sure I didn't. It's because I've been packing and doing everything else, and now I can't. Oh, there they are. Look, they're under me, under the packaging. So I'm just going to take little light bulb, there we go, and then I'm going to take a little black one. It takes me longer to pick them up. Then I'm going to stamp that in black. Obviously I don't want to add too much dimension to my Thrinchies because I don't want my book to get too thick. And they're just adding the finishing touches now to our little Thrinchie. There we go. That's it. And I'm going to add a little bit of orange just to this light bulb, just so it's got some of that touch of orange on there with the Ecoline pens. I do like my Ecoline pens. I like the brightness of them. So I'm not going to add much dimension, but I'm going to add one down here. And I'm not I'll just put a little tiny bit of pin flare, not much, just a little tiny blob, hardly any. And then I'm going to add this one, just a little bit of, tiny bit of dimension, teeny weeny bit of pin flare, just like so. Just so it's got a little bit of dimension. And I've still got an odd number. Still got an odd number sort of on there. So there's 4 here and 3 here. So I've still got an odd number that I quite like. Where did there it is. We'll just add a few splatters. Let's push that back. And now what I want to do is I'll just grab this scrap card here. I'm going to do the faux black matte. I'm just doing the faux black matte. Of course, it's now caught in there. And if it isn't dark enough, I just go over again just to make sure it's dark enough for me. I maybe should have added the faux black matte before I added my little light bulb. Let's just turn that. There we go. That's it. I'm just going to add so I go over just to add my faux black matte until I'm happy with the depth of that line. That's much better. So then I'm just going to clean that up and then going to just straighten out my little, but it's just simple ideas that you can add. You can squash these down if you don't want to, you know, just add too much dimension to your little book. I just love doing these. So then I bring my little book and I can add that now just here as number 5. And then in the next Thrinchie I can perhaps use the larger light bulb in the same stamp set. And if you want to, honestly, this is why I never stop. If you want to, you could then, let's grab, which one have I got now? Oh, they're here. So I could grab TE12, which is the shadowed elements, and we've got that little bird on there on TE12, and you could quite easily stamp your little bird just onto a part of your text, or I think I'm going to have that on, just on there. I love it when I've got little elements as well. I really do like the little elements. So it's standing on the letter T there. It makes me happy, the little elements do. Just when you can add little touches. Just chuck that on the floor. I do love adding little touches. Right, we'll stick, while that dries, we'll stick this to our Thrinchie book. Just like so. And they're just mini little pieces of art that we can look back on. Let me just see if, there we go. Just add these to your little page. I love them. I just love them. Absolutely love them. Because every time when I've added them to the book, I just think, don't they look lovely in the little book? Or whatever you're putting them in, they just look lovely. So I'm going to add a little touch of white just to my little beard. There we go. So then we've got Thrinchie number 5. And I just love it. Absolutely love that. Really makes me happy. I just love all these little pieces of art. Just make sure your book still closes nicely so that you don't want too much dimension, but I just love that. So I hope you enjoyed that and you'll give that a go. So I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.